Alright, hello guys. In this video, we're going to be talking about that stormy pattern that's looking to set up in the earlier portion of December at least, possibly even the later portion of December. But for the western United States, I'm expecting a pretty stormy pattern, at least from now till the 15th. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And also, if you live in the east, don't click away because we are going to be talking about how these could translate into southern sliders and even nor'easters potentially out there in the eastern United States. So this one really is a video for everybody. And I've been getting a lot of requests for videos out west, and this is going to be primarily a western United States video. Now, before I get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you dig weather related content, and also make sure to share this with your friends and family if you think they will find it useful or interesting. Also, if you want more videos for the western United States, smash that like button, and also make sure to leave lots of comments letting me know that you do like these, because it is primarily based on, okay, how many of my viewers am I even going to be reaching by making a video for certain portions of the United States. So if I get more engagement for western United States, I will consider making more videos out there. Anyway, we're looking at our 6 to 10 day precipitation probability outlook here from NOAA, but through Pivotal Weather, which is a great website, by the way. And you can see in that darker green shades, we have above average precipitation for the 6 to 10 day forecast, which is going to be the 8th through the 12th of December here. And you can see the western United States is in that medium shade of green, indicating we have a pretty good chance at above average precipitation. Also the eastern United States, but this video isn't about them. And then for the 8 to 14 day outlook, kind of a similar story, except mostly the northwest and not the southwest. All right. And then here's your 1 month outlook from NOAA for December. And you can see mostly, so this is basically all of December. You can see the Rockies, they have the most above average precipitation, but I would argue it should probably include California based on how the month is going to start. Now, we're about to get into our simulated radar where you're going to be able to see how these storms could actually impact a lot of these regions. Very, very exciting stuff here. All right, here we go. So we're starting out with our first storm, and this is going to be for the 4th. You probably heard about this one. It's going to head into California and bring rain, really, for the southern portions of California, and then snow, obviously, for some of those ginormous mountains out there in eastern California as well. Not a very strong low-pressure system, but you can see it moves on shore, and this is Wednesday evening time, so tomorrow, which is going to be December 4th. And then by the time we head a little bit further into the evening that night, you can see it moves further on shore, obviously, and then we see snow for the California and Nevada border, and then rain for a lot of areas in southern Nevada, western Arizona, and still all of southern California there by that point. And then that storm's going to be all said and done and kind of just wrap up. But by the time we're heading towards Friday, December 6th, this is going to be the night of Thursday, December 5th, though, we see a storm offshore of California. And that's going to be our next one, but you can see that we have nothing going on as far as that storm from the 4th and the 5th anymore. But as we look at the southeast, this is why I wanted to show this, because look, there's a southern slider that comes from this, and it's not going to bring snow as of right now, but as we get more and more of these throughout the earlier portion of December, I wouldn't rule out the possibility that if they time up right with a really big cool down in the east, we could be dealing with a southeast snowstorm here with this setup because of this storm track. So all we need is that cold air to be in place, which currently on the GFS that doesn't happen, but a lot of things change on models like that specifically. 3 days ago, or actually 4 days ago, I was just looking, we weren't even looking at a snowstorm for the northeastern United States. So these things can switch on a dime. As you can see, on the night of the 6th going into the 7th here, it's all said and done, though. But there is cold there for the Mid-Atlantic, so if it did tend to curve a little bit further north, we would be looking at snow for the Mid-Atlantic. Very, very interesting. Now, we're about to move on and look more at the western United States and some of those storms that could be moving on shore. Here you can see by the morning time on December 6th, we really have another pretty big storm heading onshore for California, and also this one might impact the northwestern United States as well. As we head on a frame, we do see some snow start to move in for the mountains of California, this time more of the northern mountains of California, and also some of those northern Rockies as well. This one's a 987 millibar low pressure system, so this one is a lot stronger than our most previous system we looked at for sure. And you can see we have pretty heavy rain moving on to the Bay Area and areas to the south and north of there as well. We're going to move on one more frame, and this is going to be in the middle of the night on the 7th through the 8th, and you can see the low pressure system really weakens by this point, but It is still bringing snowfall for Northern California, the Northern Rockies, some of the areas in the mountainous regions of Oregon and Washington. So this one is impacting pretty heavily a lot of these regions. And we do see some moderate rain for a lot of regions as well. Very, very interesting. Now you can see this one moves in and turns into more of a Rockies snowstorm here. Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana. And our low pressure system is really transferring down there to Texas and Oklahoma, which could potentially lead to things turning into a southern slider for that one as well, but it doesn't really develop into much. Now, as we head towards the morning of December 11th, we're about to see another storm head into the western United States, and that one later on is really going to turn into a big-time southern slider, and the biggest potential out of all of these to be a snowstorm for the eastern United States. All right, so we're looking at that right now. This is the morning of Wednesday, December 11th, and we see some precipitation offshore of the western United States. And by the time we head into that evening, you can see snowfall beginning for Oregon and Washington by this point, a little bit for those mountains. That is, we are going to move on one more towards Friday. And you can see this one doesn't really turn into much for the western United States. There is a storm system clearly, but just not a lot going on. We do see some snow showers developing there for the Four Corners states and maybe some of the northern Rockies as well by the 12th going into the 13th. But by the 14th, you can see we have a big time low pressure system transferring down there to the southeastern United States, and it is associated with that California one that we just looked at. So very, very interesting stuff going on. And you can see we do see some blue and pink with this one. So very interesting. Also, a lot of reds down there for Texas and Louisiana, indicating heavy, heavy rain for these regions. We are going to move on a frame, and we're going to look at the whole eastern United States this time, because for the northeast, we have kind of a clipper system going on as well. So it's two different systems going on at once, kind of combining to become a pretty big storm system going on. And situations like this have big time potential. This is 276 hours out, so I'm not really going to be like, okay, this system has a lot of potential and this could happen, because again, like 4 days ago, we didn't even expect a snowstorm for the northeastern United States. We knew it was possible, but definitely did not even expect 12 inches plus or anything, which we well exceeded that in some areas. So things can change big time. The biggest thing to take away from this is there is potential, multiple chances for potential snowstorms there for the eastern United States, which is interesting to note. All right, now we're about to look at our total rainfall and then our total snowfall for the western United States, which is going to be very, very interesting. We're expecting a lot of rain for a lot of areas, and then also a lot of snow for a lot of areas in the western United States. All right, so we're looking at our rainfall first. And in those greenish colors, so light green into dark green, which again, for some areas here is actually a lot. And then for some areas, it's hardly anything. But we're looking at about a 0.1 inches to about 0.5 inches of rain within those green shades there, which for some of the Four Corner states and desert regions is a lot. And then for some areas in the Northwest is practically nothing. Now, as we look towards the blue areas, we're looking at about a half an inch of rain to 2 inches of rain. As it gets lighter, it gets heavier, so you're a lot closer to the 2 inches of rain if you are in that lighter shade. If you're in the darker, you're at closer to half an inch or under an inch. Now, something I didn't mention is this is for the 3rd through the 15th of December, by the way. And if you're in those pinkish to purple shades, you're at about 2 to 6 inches of rain. If you're in the lighter pink colors, you're at about 2 inches. If you're in the darker purple colors, you're at about 6 inches. And then we see a little bit of magenta or reddish color there for Northern California. And then also up there in Canada, in the Pacific Northwest. But that's obviously not the United States. But they're also expecting 6 to maybe 8 inches of rain up there as well. All right, so let's look at that total snowfall now, and you can see the Rockies are really going to get going here for December, possibly even some areas in Texas and Oklahoma. That's a little bit further out and a little bit more of a long shot, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But California, for sure, the mountains out there getting 12 to 24 inches in the green, and we even see some of those blues and whites indicating 24 to 48 inches of snow, closer to 48 inches in those white shades, which isn't even that crazy for out there, which is amazing to think about. but it is still a lot of snow. And some of the Rockies, we do see those greens showing up as well, again, indicating 12 to 24 inches of snow. In the darker greens, a lot closer to 24 inches. So up there for Montana and some of the areas in northwestern Wyoming, that's probably what we'd expect. And I do see some lighter greens for Colorado down there in the southern Rockies, probably at about 12 to 18 inches of snow throughout the next half a month, so 2 weeks. So basically from the 3rd to the 15th of December, this is the snowfall that this model is expecting you to receive. Anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.